In 2023, Sean O'Malley achieved his dream of becoming the undisputed UFC champion by knocking out Aljamain Sterling in the second round. Ever since joining the organization, he had a clear blueprint for his career trajectory. And up until this point, everything had gone according to plan. From his UFC debut, both his brand and career inside the octagon had been steadily rising. However, he anticipated a significant change after capturing the belt. Despite his expectations, it seemed that O'Malley remained in the same position, failing to draw the attention of a wider audience as he had intended. O'Malley often compared his aspirations to those of McGregor, expressing his goal to reach the same level of fame. And even though he has done everything he thought would be necessary, something is still holding him back from achieving that status. So what is causing the stagnation in his career? And will we ever see him break through that ceiling? Sean O'Malley's career has already reached heights that few fighters will ever experience. He's earned enough money to support his family, secured the UFC championship belt, and amassed a fair amount of fame in the meantime. For most, achieving all of this would already be enough, but Sean's ambition always strived for more than that. Upon his rise up the rankings, he often looked to McGregor as a prime example of how he envisions his career unfolding in a perfect scenario.
That motherfucker took the sport to a new level. You feel different when he walks out, when it's his press conference, at the weigh-ins. Everything's different, dude. And I'm that close to... I watched that, I'm like, holy shit, I'm getting there. I feel like it is different when I walk out compared to majority of the roster. It's different when I do it. But when Conor does it, it's even different. But I'm still a couple wins away from making it to that moment, because he had that Jose Aldo 13-second knockout, that little back and forth war for as long as it lasted with Chad Mendes. Like, those moments were huge. My first one was with Peter. Like, that was fucking epic.
O'Malley has always had a clear plan for his career path and was very calculated in selecting his next opponents that would bring him closer to achieving his goals.
People are always like, oh, you want to be Conor, but he's the biggest star in combat sports. Of course I would, want to be as big as him. Like, I believed in myself and wanted to do stuff like that before Conor kind of came on the scene and did it, but the fact that he did it, it allows me to even dream bigger. Like, oh, he can make 100 million, I want to make 200 million. Like, I can dream bigger now because of what he's done, and I foresee that in my future for sure.
He has also come clear on many occasions that he entered the fight game primarily from a business perspective, and that he aims to put on the biggest shows possible for the company and entertain the fans.
I was always motivated by money since I was a little kid. I remember, at 16, 17 years old, you get, $5 a ticket you sell. And I was selling merch. So I was, at 16, 17 years old, I was hustling, trying to sell tickets, trying to sell, the shittiest merch ever. And I think that's where it kind of started from. I'd go out there and I could make a couple $1,000 as an amateur fighting.
However, despite O'Malley's efforts to establish himself as the biggest name in the company and be a major draw for the UFC, questions have been raised about his actual star power within the organization.
These are the numbers that this guy was trying to say, like he's this big pay-per-view star. I'm just like, oh my God. And then when I saw the numbers, I literally said to her, if I had any idea this is what the numbers would have been, if I could have predicted that this is what it would have been, my ass would have waited and taken my vacation then and then gear up to fight now. I rolled the dice. I trusted that the bag was going to be this wow, blow me away kind of thing, bigger than all the other ones. It wasn't. So with that being said, it is what it is.
Shortly after the UFC 292 event, where Sean O'Malley took the bantamweight belt of Aljamain Sterling, the former champ came out complaining that he was told a fight with O'Malley would do much bigger numbers. If we look at Sean's social media numbers, his brand comes off as massive, with having the 8th most followed Instagram account and the biggest YouTube channel among the active fighters. He also does really good numbers in his interviews, embedded series, and press conferences. Younger generations are spending a lot more time on socials, so it's no surprise you attract more of them by promoting yourself on these platforms. However, the problem with this demographic is that illegal streaming is very popular amongst them, as they are used to accessing online content for free or at a minimal cost. Although Sean's fanbase isn't solely composed of teens, such as in the case of Jake Paul, the influx of young followers over the years may have contributed to his inflated numbers. Despite many people questioning his actual star power, another thing he has been catching a lot of heat recently for has been his lack of skills on the mic and a somewhat dry persona. More criticisms regarding his poor mic skills emerged following the seasonal press conference that featured the first 3 pay-per-view events for 2024. During this press, O'Malley seemed to have struggled multiple times while responding to media questions or engaging in trash talk with other fighters on stage, which resulted in awkward exchanges.
Yeah, he can throw leg kicks, do whatever he needs to do. Yeah.
This guy's a fucking clown. He ain't a
Rich
fucking
clown,
man.
baby.
And
Rich
you got Happy
clown,
Dad
baby.
over there fucking jerking him off the whole time.
Speaking of Happy Dad,
Go and let dudes fuck your wife. This is fucking crazy, bro. We need to bring back men to this fucking sport. Dana, what happened? What fucking happened, Dana?
Is there another question?
John
Question for Drickus.
This was nothing new, as O'Malley frequently appears nervous and anxious during press conferences, hindering his ability to showcase his true self and deliver witty lines.
he's 5'5". There's no way. It says he's 5'7" on the stats, but there's no way he's 5'5" or 5'7". I just believe I'm a lot better everywhere.
He says that you're not 5'7", that you're 5'5". Can you confirm that you are 5'7"?
There's no way he can't. No, he can't.
Братан, при чем тут рост? Вы посмотрите на его вид. Это как девушка с дороги, я не знаю.
It's not about the height. Just look at him. He's like a whore on the side of the road.
Any response, Sean, or are you just going to leave that one there?
No, that was good. That was good.
While some may have been overly critical of his lack of entertainment value during these events, he often displays his humorous side in interviews and podcasts he runs alongside his coach and brother.
So the judges all 3 scored it for him, 10-9.
What did they score the second round?
Yeah, there's this stigma that you don't have that dog in you. Until people go and you go and watch that Piotr Jan fight. Good, see, he's fast too. You go and watch that Piotr Jan fight, and what do people just think? You don't got that dog in you. It's really weird.
We can clearly see that O'Malley has a good sense of dry humor and is quick and witty in his comebacks, but something seems to hold him back when he's talking in front of a big crowd. However, despite people criticizing him for not doing well at media events, one thing can't be denied, which is that he performs when it matters the most during his fights. Ever since the fight against Chito Vera, he has been on an upward trajectory, putting on flawless performances and being one of the most entertaining fighters on the roster. O'Malley's record is nearly perfect, with just 1 loss, which he often attributes to a lucky leg kick from Chito that caused his leg to give out. Additionally, there's 1 no contest due to an unintentional eye poke against Pedro Munoz, which didn't seem to have a significant impact, as O'Malley appeared to be winning that fight. Following his win over Aljo, Sean had already made up his mind to demand a rematch against the only fighter who had ever defeated him, aiming to prove the loss was a fluke and establish himself as the better fighter. While O'Malley's decision to fight Chito next sparked some frustration among fans, as there were 2 contenders ahead of him who seemed more deserving of the title shot, he had a clear reason for why he wanted Chito as his first title defense.
Some people like people and some people they're not interesting, but it's definitely possible to get a title shot. Boring people get title shots eventually after so many wins, but yeah, me versus Chito's, I think, just the easiest fight, simple. That one's fight business.
Right.
That makes the most money.
One thing that doesn't sit with everyone about Sean is that he is choosing his opponents based on who may be the most interesting matchup for the fans, when a clear decider for the next challenger should be the rankings. This was again the case in the lead-up to his fight against Chito, where he has been calling out for a fight with Topuria next and ignoring the clear contender in Dvalishvili, who has been on a 10-fight winning streak and recently defeated the former champ to further solidify his position as the next challenger.
Whether you guys fucking agree or not, UFC thinks so. I'm potentially a massive star. I'm a star already. And if Ilia thinks I'm an easy fight, who's a bigger fight than me? If he goes out there and beats Volk, and I go out there and beat Chito, that fight's happening next.
Due to a lot of pushback on this, and with Dvalishvili gaining popularity among fans, Sean has defended his stance by stating that he simply wants to deliver the fights that fans are most eager to see.
I'm getting a lot of shit. It's so weird, the fan base. I'm getting so much shit for calling him out. It's like, as a fan, I'm like, what would people want to see? And I'm like, oh, fuck, the bantamweight champ fights. That'd be fucking incredible. And then people are hating on it. I'm like, okay, fuck. Well, you guys are the ones that are going to watch. What do you guys want me? You guys want me to fight Merab next? You guys want me to fight Merab over Ilia? That's really what you guys want?
Despite the likelihood of his bout against Topuria drawing larger pay-per-view sales, it's important not to hold up his division and to allow deserving fighters to compete for the belt next. Although Chito skipped ahead for a rematch with O'Malley, many wanted to see this fight. Their first bout ended with controversy, leaving us questioning who's truly the better fighter. Clear difference in skill.
How many thousands of leg kicks been landed? I don't know what it is. You watched that fight. I was piecing
You were
him
winning
up.
the fight.
I was piecing him up.
So, but Sean, he got lucky.
I talked to the Suga State Athletic Commission, and they took it away. It's not even. Chito would have said, "I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna put my toe on his nerve, and I'm gonna cause him drop foot." And that's how he won that fight. Or this whole thing I wouldn't be mentally undefeated. If he would have called that shot, it's different.
If anything, he appeared more confident than ever heading into his rematch with Chito.
Yeah, that fight never necessarily bothered me. Look where I'm at now. That fight plays out a different way. I win that fight. Maybe the next fight I fight somebody that I wasn't ready for, and I lose. My career completely plays out different. So I go out there and put on a knocked out Thomas Almeida like 7 times, and it was a beautiful performance. So grateful for everything that's happened, and that fight's never really bothered me. But I am excited to go out there and do what I was about to do in that first fight.
I mean, he's a weird guy, dude. He likes that weird shit. I try to stay away from it. I get it. I mean, one of his main tools is get on people's head, but good luck with that. But I mean, I'm gonna fuck you up, and I'm prepared for Saturday night. So he's trying to start things, and yesterday he asked me if I was ready to lose the fight. So
do you care to share a prediction for the fight?
Sleep in this man.
On March 9th, they were finally ready to enter the cage and settle their score. O'Malley came out sharp and fast, pinpointing Chito for all 5 rounds, scoring a knockdown at the end of a second and landing a devastating knee that would have knocked out any other fighter but Chito. He ended up winning the fight 50-45, with one judge even scoring it 50-44. It's safe to say O'Malley has proved the point he's been trying to convince everyone for years, and he finally got a chance to show it.
I mean, I knew I was better than this guy for 3.5 years. I knew the first fight was a fluke, and I proved that, so it felt good.
However, in his post-fight interview, Sean shifted his focus away from the #1 contender in his division and instead called for a bout with Topuria in Spain to pursue double champ status.
Dana! Ilia, baby, give me Ilia!
O'Malley's consistent disregard for Dvalishvili didn't sit well with him, especially considering he had even served as a backup for their fight and had to cut weight again just 3 weeks after his last bout.
You should mention my name. Oh shit, I didn't know who that was. Hey, you have to fight.
I don't know, like, if I got hit in the head too. I was like, what the f? Who is this random guy talking to me? I was like, who the f? And then I realized it was Merab. Yeah, I mean, that fight very well could happen next.
O'Malley later admitted he recognized him, but simply wanted to tease him further.
Did you really not recognize him when he came up to you backstage?
No, I did. I just thought that shit would be funny.
It was pretty great.
In a recent interview with MMA Fighting, Dvalishvili called out Sean for avoiding him, expressing clear frustration that he wasn't being acknowledged.
I was rooting for O'Malley, because I want to fight him, and then he called Ilia, and then I know this fight's not gonna happen, and he's still not mentioning my name, and then he's still, I don't know, I don't want to say ducking me or something, but come on, bro, let's build this fight, we're gonna fight, and let's build this fight, and let's make it even bigger, why not? Why? I don't understand why you are champion. Come on, like, now give division respect, guys, you gotta fight like the best of the best, you gotta fight the #1 contenders.
Despite O'Malley's push for a double champ fight with Ilia, he acknowledged that Dvalishvili should be the next contender for the title.
I've been very vocal since I've been in the UFC. My goal is to get the massive fights. That's what I want. And that's kind of, the reason behind that call out. No, I definitely think a Merab fight would be pretty big. yeah, he's on a 10-fight win streak. You know, he was kind of known for being boring, and now he's popular from being boring. So it's kind of a weird way to get popular, but he did it, which is impressive. So, you know, I think that fight can be marketed well. 10-fight win streak. I knocked out his cousin, and it's all good.
Despite his persistence in seeking a fight for the 145-pound belt, Topuria seems to have his sights set on a bout with McGregor for some reason. He seems to have taken a page out of McGregor's playbook, using similar tactics to reach the championship status. So check out my deep dive about Ilia's mind games leading up to his fight against Alexander Volkanovski, and what he's gleaned from McGregor.